Ways
Welcome home, Sid.
I don't think so.
Tell your curse breakers they're welcome in Lost Wing any time, both for the coin they spend and the news they bring.
Yardan say the floods are closer than they've ever been. Let the ether turn me from teat to toe, then. I won't.
It's over. Oh! Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew. Something there, boy. Could that be our man? Are you all right?
Dare say I'll survive. That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me in the grass, though. I'd be dead if it hadn't.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker, if you couldn't tell by the smell of me.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name of Karen?
She's not an easy woman to forget. Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as far as I recall. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She send you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art. and not an easy man to impress.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting your steel from any but the best. I'd dearly love to help a fellow craftsman, but... Well, actually, I suppose you could give him this.
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that cuirass. If your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did save my life. And thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. I'd say it's the least I can do. Short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is. But there are rules against it. Secrets of the trade and whatnot.
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you would. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith my regards.
Will do. And thank you. Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.
What became of Kupka? Why haven't we heard anything?
Well, don't just stand there gawping. Go on, then. It's rubbing me blind, you know.
If the state of our coffers is anything to go by,
I'd say we found ourselves a welcome match.
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it. Otto. Any word on the Royalist movements since I've been away?
Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know, go and have a word with Vivian.
Thank you. I will.
The conquering hero returns. And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent. The scent of Waludas.
The very same. But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the Royalists, he took them to his grave. As did his men. Slaughtered by the orcs who'd taken over the Fang. Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before. The Waluders must have ferried them over from Ash, but why? Why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the Adamantus? One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on individual details. One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is there than my map? The Kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash. It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Walooder standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalists betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that night are still raw, especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might finally begin to heal. Consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
Clive, have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No. To share mine, actually. Hugo Kupka is dead.
Oh my. Can it really be true?
Look, he's crying. He is. The big baby.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has broken.
It has.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kuka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him. With my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Thanks to Sid.
Well, someone looks pleased with himself. It's true what I'm hearing, then.
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kuka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders, then. Good. I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head, though.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Kuka is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words. This is it then. A new beginning under a new Sid.
I'll try to live up to the name. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything.
How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him, or does the hunt continue?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this, along with his regards.
You're joking.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work it, but that if you were as skilled as you sounded, you'd have no trouble understanding how it was done.
So that's his secret. Crafty bastard. He's layered and cross-grained it. Good few times, too. No wonder it's tough. And that's no ordinary oil he's used to get that finish. Oh, this is fine work. Even finer than I thought.
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Just looks like leather to me. Still, I'm glad you're happy. Here, Clive, you didn't happen to catch the fella's name, did you?
Camille, I believe.
I thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do their own hunting, see, and his name kept cropping up when I was asking around. Turns out he's from Tabor, and again most leather workers are, But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret, the details of which are the subject of some debate in the leatherworking community.
Then we better keep this close to our chests.
Listen, sorry for putting the both of you to all that trouble. Should have kept my moaning to myself. Still, I'm glad you found him. This has cheered me right up.
That was the idea. Clive's idea, anyway. He did most of the work.
It's good to have you back, Blackthorn.
Just don't expect me to go turning out work like this. There's a reason he does his own hunting. He knows exactly what hides to look for. And that's how he gets them to layer up so nicely. And don't get me started on how much oiling this leather would need. But I reckon I can make something about as good. Something a Cursebreaker will have no trouble caring for. Anyway, enough narrowing. I've got work to be getting on with.
Looks like we won't be needing a new blacksmith.
As if there was a better one out there. Nah, it wouldn't have been the same anyway. No one spins a yarn like old Blackthorn in his cups. Right, now that's sorted, I've got duties to attend to. Thanks, Clive. You've given me my mate back.
Clive? Good bloody riddance. Mine included. What do you want? And how am I meant to do that then? Not bad, if I do say so myself. Anything else?
Crack the crystal too. I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips.
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something?
Just spreading the word.
So, the Professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed.
No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing. Not least of all Sid. You should tell him.
You're right. I should. And I will.
Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave.
Very well. I'll suggest it. You have the look of a man with the twins upon his shoulders, Rodrigue.
Talia has tasked me with removing a Cursebreaker's brand. But it's my first time, and I don't think I can do it. I'm afraid of what happens if I fail. You survived, I know, but near as many die as recover. Is it really worth the risk?
You don't need me to answer that. You know full well what we're fighting for. I hope as much as you that one day bearers can walk among others as equals. But until that day, a brand is a burden, and we must lift that burden in order to go undetected. The operation may be dangerous, but it's also essential, and we undergo it willingly.
I know. I still wish there was some other way. But griping about my lot helps no one, I suppose. Don't worry. I'll do what must be done.
I know you will.
Unfortunately, the first thing that needs doing is the preparation of a draft to dull the pain. Something I can't do with the infirmary's ammonia supply so low. What few leaves we have would barely be enough for removing a splinter, let alone a brand.
Just tell me what you need.
You'll go? Oh, thank you. No one knows Herblord like Taya, and she swears by ammonia for easing pain. It's simple enough to find, if you know where to look. And fortunately for you, I do. Along the river near the village of Amber over in Rosaria. Just search for the bright blue blossoms.
I overheard your little chat with Rodrigue. It's good of you to help.
Oh, bother. Whatever am I to do now, Clive?
About what?
I've 2 dresses that need stitching, but I haven't got a scrap of linen. Those girls' rags are so threadbare. It's a wonder they don't fall to pieces. And we most certainly cannot have that. A certain amount of decorum must be maintained, even here at the Hideaway. You wouldn't want the poor things going without decent clothes now, would you?
Of course not. What can I do to help?
Oh, aren't you a dear? You see, I've paid for 2 bolts of cloth from the drapers in Northreach, blue and red. But they don't deliver, not to places that aren't on the map anyway, so I'll need someone to take this receipt and collect them.
And you'd have this someone be me?
I would. And don't let them fob you off with anything less than what I paid for. 1 bolt of blue and 1 of red. I expect them both. They said they'd give us new clothes. Thanks to Sid.
Thank you,
The man
Clive.
who hurt you.
I didn't take you for a scholarly van.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first ton of worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, dare I ask what's on the menu?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Hasn't been.
Editors started reading books.
I have done it, Sid. I have learned all the letters. Every one.
I knew it was a good idea to have editors study alongside the children. It's really stoked their competitive spirit.
If I don't come up with something soon.
All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts making. The sack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then? Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to. The engine plating's basically just a very efficient conductor. Create a thermal gradient across it, and the heat radiates outwards, which... You know what? Just show the plans to Blackthorn. They'll know what to do.
I think Mid might need some.
I went up to give some breeze to the chocolate.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favour?
Hell with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. I'd spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy, though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, hasn't she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword-grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand collecting the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, and we can get this over with. You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these two lucky souls is going with you?
Gav, you're with me.
All right, then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Dalamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting him fleece ya.
Fleece me? I'd like to see him try.
In your own time.
Sounds like this river we're looking for is south of the Dalamil Inn. I'll hire us a wagon and meet you there.
I'll get us a good price. Is that one you want to worry about?
I take it Drake's Fang was your doing, Sid.
You really are quite the outlaw.
It's only a matter of time before the people learn of this and seek to apportion blame. Lie low is my advice.
The finest fabric!
The most fragrant herbs and spices from the... Gone, just like that. And without so much as a by your leave.
What's the matter?
It's my apprentice. He up and vanished while my back was turned. I'd go and look for him myself, but I've got a bakery to run. A bakery that's now short one pair of hands. Loath though I am to rely on the kindness of strangers, I'm at a loss. Please, will you see if you can find him?
I'll see what I can do. Do you know where he might have gone?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see. Poor fool left his heart in its hollow.
All right. Then that's where I'll start.
Oh, where did all the men have gone?
Plates and pots! Bowls and basins!
The baths are, closed for scrubbing. Please bear with us a little longer.
All those years of toil, every coin I've ever earned is tied up in this place.
Are you all right?
The baths are closed. Leave me be. On second thought, perhaps you are just what I need. Might your services be for hire?
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in Dalimil wouldn't be enough to cool it. I've no doubt that my woes stem from the water's source. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers thinking I've abandoned the place. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one. I beg of you. Go to Dusnoff Terraces. Tell me what you find there.
All right. I'll go and take a look.
Wonderful. It's not far. Leave the market by the south gate. The smell of sulphur will guide you the rest of the way. These baths are all that keep me from an ignoble end in a debtor's prison. My livelihood, my very life, is at stake.
Looks like I found the river. Where's Gav?
Fly, Ambrosia.
Nice try. It's over. Now, Gorgo! Go for it! Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of the stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me. You all right, boy? That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
blade yet. That's why. Come. Let us feast on your flesh.
Your feasting days are over. Too slow.
Get him! Nice try.
I bleed your blood!
Too slow.
Let's snap you like a twig!
Those who kill for sport deserve no better. Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? Certainly not a baker. Master must have ruled the day he took me in. Time was the sight of the fang used to calm my nerves. But now look at her.
I take it you missed the Mother Crystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered, part of me shattered with her. I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling pin, but I'm no good at baking. Every loaf I touch collapses. My bread's as hollow as I am. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. Oh, I loved her, damn it. But now she's gone. She's never coming back. What am I supposed to do? I ask her. How does a shell of a man learn to live again?
Focus on the job at hand. Think about what you can do right now.
What use is proofing loaves when... Wait... Perhaps the solution has been in the bakery all along. You've opened my eyes. Thank you, friend, and fare thee well.
Wait. Suppose you won't be needing an escort then.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
it. Straight home now.
Something awful's taken up residence in the Springs. You'll turn back if you know what's good for you.
By the flames. That explains the heat. Nice try. It's over. Farewell. Kill! Out of the frying pan. Nice try. Kill! Soil and stone! Nice try. Fool! Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
My carpets.
Take a sniff, good sir. You'll be...
Ah, there you are. The man who lit a fire under my wayward apprentice. Though I worry you might have stoked the flames a little too...
Master, it's ready.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. Her steepled peaks, her false... True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but what's the fact? And look, inside. She's fit. Master, I have found my purpose.
Well, if it tastes half as unique as it looks... not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally pulling his weight. I don't know how you did it, but you have...
Oh, well, you'll never.
Made from the stoutest stone. There he is. Won't you, Matt? I was hoping we'd be seeing you again. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long now before we are...
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the terraces? What threatened to make me a pauper?
Not what I expected, that's for certain.
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? But I've burdened you with my worries enough already. Here. Right. It's high time I got back to work. With a little luck, that...
Plates and pots!
Now,
Lightly and dark.
Dusan, I know you're
Yes, they're
The
quite
finest fabrics, fresh from the...
I've never even forged a button. Perhaps Forge Master Lube.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, wait, sorry. I'm Sava, Master Luber's soon-to-be former apprentice if I don't pass this test. People are buying up weapons faster than the Briar's Kiss can forge them, and here I am. He wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of Dalam. I don't suppose you have any idea what he's on about, do you?
I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Thought I'd ask. It was...
I could give you a hand if you... I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been. And that Lubor...
I'd be a fool to refuse.
So, where do we...
Good question. If I'm... And then there's this little riddle to keep in mind. The spirit...
The way I see it, there's only one way we'll be solving Lubor's puzzle. We need information.
You're right. There's no point now. Who to speak to? There's plenty of folk in Dalamil who use knives. There's the butcher, of course. They're bound to have an opinion or two about the tools of their trade. All right. I think we have a plan. I'll talk to every cook I can find. You speak to the butcher.
All right.
Let's hope that someone says something useful.
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I better get to it.
Says Drake's fang has fallen. Is that...
I hear you've been busy. Hours... At least they did. So... You and I... What? Alas. Still... That was your doing, was it not? As for me... My ears are always open.
The most fragrant
Now,
herbs and
Dusan, I
spices
know you're
from the
king,
reds
but...
Welcome, sir.
A question. I need to know what makes a good carving knife.
You a blacksmith or something?
Something.
Fair enough. Knives, is it? First and foremost, it's got to hold an edge. Most knives will make it through fat, no problem, but sinew dulls cheap steel in no time. Give me a blade which can slice through anything that crosses my chopping block, and I'm a...
So a knife that stays sharp.
Put a knife with an edge like Odin's razor in my hand, and I'll make short work of anything.
Now, Dusan, I know you're king.
Oh, where did all the men
What is it? Minomu.
Sorry.
Hunter.
I have a question. Can you tell me...
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. Can't be dealing with a brittle blade. Not if your knife snaps every time you use it. You'll be spending coin as fast as you make it.
Thank you. I Won't keep you.
All business, eh? Man after my own heart.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
Silver platters, made from the stoutest stoneware.
Now, Dusan, I know you're...
Yes, my carpets have pride of place.
So, you learn anything useful, or...?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp.
I didn't have... All the cook said was that he needs his knives to be too heavy and they do his shoulder in.
So we're no better off than when we started. Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil remark. But that can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he chooses them. No. We must be missing something.
No doubt you're right, but I have to make a start soon. I can't put off...
Agreed. Lubor wouldn't like that much.
Right. I've been trained to work iron. The trouble is, it's either durable, meaning someone is going to be disappointed.
Is there no one else you can turn to? Someone who knows their metals, perhaps?
The other apprentices know better than to help me with my test. A merchant, a favourite of Forge Master Lubor's, who I bet she'd know a thing or two.
Good girl.
Faster! Be safe.
Any luck? Or will you be needing help with your bags?
Well, I asked her, but...
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Lubor, they're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much. But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so it doesn't come...
And it's beyond my skill.
Unique to ash. Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to refine it.
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron. Then but he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil remark wasn't a riddle. But
if it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone. Folk first settled Dalamil to get at a mineral, and if you know the trick, it can be melted down in the furnace to dry...
Bloody hell! I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around enough.
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask after all.
The limestone? Fine. Besides, I want to know if this is the answer to Lubor's...
I can't. You'll have no trouble finding limestone over in the terraces.
Then I suppose I'll meet you back at the forge.
Right you are. So, do you...
My carpet.
Take a sniff,
Now,
good sir.
Dusan, I know you're keen, but...
Oh, where do I remember?
Lights and pots!
No, I'm telling you, it's gone.
One rock looks a lot like another.
Master Lubor says Drake's fang has fallen. Does that mean this is going to stop working?
Maybe. I wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this is enough.
You are one of the good ones, you know that. You and that merchant both, she's got quite a gift for tea. Now, time to see if limestone... That'll do, I reckon. A knife forged from the very rocks of Dallin.
It's a fine-looking blade.
That sounds like my cue. And just as well. I was getting tired of waiting.
I'm sorry, Forge Master.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Sava, do you think this is a carving knife?
I'd like to,
but what do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish, but it won't last long and it's heavy. Heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leads.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
I would say you could demand a heavy...
And who would be able to pay that? The butcher? The hunter? Dalimil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and lay. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava. Know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. What would you do if...
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it...
There goes a master.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's writ. The spirit of Dalimil had nothing. Meaning, I had you run around.
You've passed your test. That's all that matters.
And when I do, I'll craft you the finest... Master Lubor says Drake's fang has fallen. Does that mean
You finished?
Enough.
Oh, that might even be enough for all... Here, before we... Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was...
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel this. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand, or you can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy line.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe after Blackthorn gets what he needs.
Right. Ready to go home, boy? Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Is it business or pleasure? Coin purse weighing you down? You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. And what can I do for you? It's a relief. Thank you, Clive. Try not to get yourself killed, eh?
Blackthorn. Got everything.
Yeah. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You're... Hold up.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
What do you need? What do you want? And?
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry?
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
There you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back. Anybody home? This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go. The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Good day to you. Sid.
And what can I do for you? I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
Let's hope the draper has Hortense's cloth.
All anyone ever wants.
Fresh cuts! Come up! You'll not find a bruised pippin in the bush.
Might I interest you in some swansdown? Perhaps.
Just some linen. 2 bolts. Already...
Apologies, my lord, but your items... Oh, they were due to arrive on a caravan from Bucklad, but as my mother thinks it might be bandits. But she...
It usually is. So I assume the caravan will be coming...
Yes, hopefully carrying all manner of... Wait, you aren't thinking of...
Going to find it.
Oh.
Them birds are menace.
She meant nothing by it, I swear.
Who's gonna buy my wares now? State your animals left them in.
But they hardly damaged us all.
Is there something wrong?
If you're a bandit come to steal my stuff, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
But it was you who stepped into my pot.
Only after that feather-brain trampled me. I demand recompense, be it in coin or the items...
These goods are expected in Northreach. I mean, they're not mine to give away.
You wouldn't happen to be on your way from Bocklad, would you?
I am. But, did someone from the market send you? Please, you have to help me.
So the fool has protection. And coin, too. Sorry, friend. Oi! Killer!
I told you not to call me that. And we'd have already collected if you hadn't insisted we'd put on this little act.
Bandits!
As I told one of your customers, it usually is. Let's get this over with.
I'll deal with the bird lover. You take the handsome one, killer.
Stop calling me that!
Nice try.
All yours, Torgal. This one. Get him. All right. You might...
Did he hurt you?
No, he seemed intent on letting the bandit do his dirty work for him. And he would have succeeded had my shipment is safe, and my livelihood with it. You must allow...
We can speak of that once you're safe in Northreach.
So, you and my mother were right. It is always bandits.
And were it not for the kindness of our free sword here, you'd be buying your all now. If you don't mind, I have a pressing appointment at the Vale.
Oh, I almost forgot. I suppose you'll be wanting your linen. You'll be happy to know both bolts arrived safely along. I've also added a few extra lengths of free of charge.
Are you sure?
My mother would insist. It's the least we can do for the man.
That's that done then. Now it's back to Hortense with her cloth.
Clive, sorry again for sending you all that...
Don't worry. I believe this will more than satisfy you.
Let's see here. Oh, what's this?
I don't recall ordering any silk or velvet, or... If that devilit of a draper expects me to pay for these...
You needn't worry on that score, Hortense. They were a gift. I can always return them if you like.
Oh, no. Oh, there's no need to be hasty now, Clive. I'm sure I can put all three... Speaking of which one's most to your liking?
I don't know. This one, I suppose.
I've a mind to give a piece to Jill. Did you know she's quite the little seamstress?
I know needlecraft was amongst her lessons at the castle.
Her lessons? Oh, that's right. The two of you were raised together.
Not quite together, but when my father put down the uprising in the north, Jill was taken as a ward to ensure that her father, the Silvermane, would keep...
She's an honest-to-goodness princess then, isn't she? I could tell, you know. Some people just have that air about them. Not many round. I'd offered to sew her something that might better suit her station, but she'd most likely turn me down, as she always does. Tell me not to waste the fabric.
Don't take it the wrong way. She certainly seems to be a
Sometimes I think she never...
Well, perhaps she'll make something for herself with your gift.
We'll see, I suppose.
Lady Hortense said she'd give us our dresses soon. Said they'd be made of linen, not sackcloth.
I went up to give some breeze to the jungle.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has
Excellent.
And just one remain.
Right.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship, which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've wrapped my brains and I just can't...
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him? See what he makes of it?
Right away.
I'm never drinking again.
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril... What are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The ship can yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight. While, as you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to...
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel, and yet we have made a home here from those very materials.
We have, but Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Harpocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help.
As the other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding it.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my... So, Clive, who will accompany you?
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very... I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you...
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you...
I will.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia. Now, where's Jill?
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Are those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stores. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin. Fresh cuts. Come and get them before they...
What can I interest you in today? I trust it's all here. You're always welcome here in Lostwing.
Buy, sell, or be gone. Good riddance.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
Anyone's supposed to afford that?
All anyone ever wants, anyone.
Here since sunrise and not a single or soul.
Did you find everything?
I did.
Garlic and pepiona. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to... But before we head back, would you walk with me a while? Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, so Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it...
You all right?
So, it's just... you're right. Clive, is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive. Well, I suppose we better be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
I wonder how Harpocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Oh, I'm never drinking.
How's work on the shielding?
Well, very well indeed. And I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing. And now that we have all the ingredients,
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary?
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moondew are ready, it will merely be a matter followed by a rigorous process of testing. Perhaps someone ought to warn you.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Harpocrates. Better go and give Mid the good news then.
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Sorry to keep you waiting, but you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we...
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the...
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits to the Black Hammer.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get...
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some prep.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shoals searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black... That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realised I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can...
I'm working on that, and I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you? Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.